Hey, Matt.
Hey, Mike.
Let's do the podcast.
Let's do.
All right. We're doing it now. Here we go. Welcome to Hacking the Grepson, a software and development podcast where I, Mike, talk to you.
Matt.
See?
That's all I say.
It's a thing now. And today I wanted to talk about...
But we didn't do the hey Mike, hey Matt thing.
We did. I said, hey, Matt, and you said, hey, Mike. I said,
hey, Mike.
Let's do the podcast.
I'm so confused.
You know, it's almost like you need like a tutorial on how to do this podcast.
That would have been good.
Yeah. Let's talk about Let's talk about tutorialization, which apparently is not a word because it got flagged every time I wrote it down.
I think it's because we used a Z. That's probably the British spelling or something.
It should be tutorialization?
Probably.
Okay, I don't like that.
I don't either. No. I always use the Z form.
The Z. Z is better.
Right said Zed.
So what do I mean about the tutorialization of software design? Let's ask the person who brought it up. Hey, Mike, what do you mean by that?
Hey, Mike, what do you mean by that?
So this all started with a conversation I had with a friend of both of ours. I played this game. The game is called Satisfactory, and it is based...
Is it any good?
It's all right. If you have played Factorio, which I think we did an episode on Factorio.
Yeah, I played the heck out of Factorio. So
yeah, and then what did you think of Factorio?
I love it, except for the bad guys. I actually have a new game going right now where all of the aliens are just passive.
Yeah, because they're annoying, aren't they?
Yeah, because I think you and Robin suggested something like that. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, hey, Satisfactory, which is basically a better 3D version of Factorio, has enemies, but you can set them to passive, and they basically are not even an obstacle. So I would highly suggest it. Yeah. So this game has you building factories on an alien planet. That's not really important. What is important is my wife Robin and I played it multiplayer for over 100 hours, beat it, loved it, great game.
There's an end?
There is an end.
Wow.
Although you can keep playing past the end because it's a simulation game. You build factories, they automate things. It's fun. Our friend later played this game sort of near the tail end of our play session, and he, I believe, is still playing it, but he's just playing it single player. So right off the bat, his experience playing the game is different than ours because we played it multiplayer. Also, after a reasonable amount of time, if we didn't understand how to do something or we wanted to better understand how a certain mechanic worked, we would look online.
Yeah.
Also, we were playing on PCs, like 2 regular desktop systems. He has been playing on a Steam Deck.
That's also
on
how I
a
played
TV.
Factorio.
Yeah. But just to level set, his experience playing this game was significantly different than ours.
So he's using a controller.
He's not using a controller. He has a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse.
Okay.
But still, he's playing it on a Steam Deck, which is not as powerful as our PCs. So he's playing it at a lower resolution, maybe frame rate, that all kind of stuff. But that's not really why I wanted to talk about this. What I wanted to talk about this is when we would talk about playing this game, many times stuff would come up where oh, hey, did you do the thing yet? Or did you find the X or the Y yet? And he would be like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. And I was thinking well, didn't you just try stuff? And the specific instance that I kind of have to get into, I'm sorry, friend, if you listen to this podcast, you know this is about you, but I'm not trying to shame you, but it was just...
Fred.
It was such an amazing, moment in, diverging paths in a game that it, kind of shocked me, and we kept going back to it, and I almost kind of made it a meme that I would kind of bring it up every now and again. I feel bad about it, but it's just so juicy that I can't bring it up. So the thing was, it's a regular 3D game. You play it in first person, and I've been playing video games for a long time. I played a lot of 3D first person games.
Those are literally first person is my least favorite way to play a video game.
Okay. Now, I will pose a question to you, Matt, though, because you have played them before.
Many.
Okay, you didn't like them, but you played them.
Like GoldenEye, I played the heck out of that.
Okay.
I like the game. I just don't like the perspective.
Yeah, you've played Minecraft for
a few minutes, yes.
Okay.
I played it.
Okay. You've played Doom or Quake.
Certainly. I certainly have played,
Okay.
I've played a lot of these things. I just don't like the control scheme for them.
Okay, now are you aware that when you move in one of those games, the speed you're moving at is kind of the default walking speed,
Usually, yes.
but there's an alternate way to move that usually involves holding down like a modifier key like shift, and it lets you
It lets you sprint.
right or
Yeah.
run.
The first thing I do when I open up a new game is I look at the controls.
Okay, see now that's a brilliant point. When you start up a game, you're like, just like me. Where's the settings? Where's the options? How can I modify this before I even hit go? I'm wondering where that is. Right?
Do I want to turn on invert Y or not?
Right. Yeah.
Can never decide what I like except in first person, which I always invert.
Yeah. Well, and especially if I'm playing when I had a less powerful computer, I would often go in to change the graphics settings. Because if it wasn't with chugging, I would lower the resolution or whatever. Or,
I also always turn subtitles on immediately.
right. Yeah. But still, it's like second nature. You don't even think about it, right? Okay. Well, our friend did not know that you could run in Satisfactory.
That sounds like it would be very frustrating.
And he didn't realize you could run until he had played it for 40 hours.
That's a lot of walking.
Yeah. And this blew me away. Because I'm like... A, how did you not know you could run in a video game?
B, didn't it make you go insane with boredom?
Didn't it make you go insane? Didn't you look into the controls or the options? Didn't you press every key on the keyboard to see what it did? All of these things that for me are second nature, obvious, duh. For him, the exact opposite. His response to that was, well, the game never told me I could run, so I didn't try. Or I didn't even think about it. I just thought, that's how fast you move, end of story. And I was like, what? How does that make... What do you think of that, Matt?
I think that's bad design, honestly. If it's not intuitive...
That's what he said.
If it's not intuitively obvious that you can do a thing, then it's... And you're expected to just know. I think that's bad design. There's a lot of ways, which I expect is what we're talking about today, that you can solve that problem, especially in games. But also, I always look at the controls because... the way my brain works and the way most people's brain works are...
Well, be careful with that most part, because that's what gets me when I'm talking about
typical.
this.
Well, no, but being neurodivergent, it actually is true.
Oh, so most is typical. Neurotypical.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
The majority.
Okay, gotcha.
That might be more accurate.
Okay.
Don't always align.
Yeah.
And so I look at the controls so that I have an idea of what I can do. Right? Because I know what I can do physically in the real world, so I don't feel like it's cheating to look at what I can do in the game, right? How do I do thing?
Yeah.
Right? Metroidvanias are really good at that a lot of times, and they're good at not spoilering things a lot, because they'll show you, like, here's the controller, and they'll be like, this button, unmapped, or something, like, or question mark, question mark, question mark. And I'm like, see, that's good. I know that'll do something eventually.
Yeah.
And then they can teach me. But right now, it says, oh, sprint, click in the, hit L3 by clicking in the button.
Yeah, and believe me, I've played plenty of games that tutorialized the game by, if you have started a new game, it will have pop-ups or a little like, hey, welcome to the game, or like I bring up Minecraft. Minecraft didn't used to, but for many years now, if you start a new game, it will have like a little tooltip thing pop up and say like, you can move with the WASD keys, and there will be a little progress bar that moves as you press them. It's almost like an achievement. It's like, ding, okay, you moved. You can also punch with the whatever key, and you can jump with the other key, and so that's one way to handle it.
A lot of those like city simulator games do that.
Yeah, because they're complicated, and there's a lot of things to learn.
I don't remember. I just played a game the other day that did that, and I can't remember what it was, but it might have been...
Was it City Skylines or something?
I have played that, but no, it wasn't that.
Okay.
It wasn't one of those types of games. It's probably... I think the most recent game I played was Oblivion. I'm playing it.
The most recent game?
They did a remaster.
Oh,
and I never played it.
again?
And I never played it before. Well, no, not Skyrim. I played the heck out of Skyrim. The one before that.
Okay.
Right? And so so I think they did that. It was like, you had to basically, and Metroidvanias do this a lot too. It'll be like, walk using this thing. And then once you get past it, like, I've seen the ones where it does a little progress bar, but often it'll be once you get past a certain point, then it's like, okay, cool. Now.
Yeah. So do you think that basically every game should do that kind of thing?
Basically every game, yes, but I do think there are exceptions.
What are the exceptions?
I mean, there might be some very, very basic things, like, but maybe a game like Blueprints, it's all about exploring and trying things. I could see them hiding something.
But, like, they don't tell you when you start up a new game, press W on your key to move forward.
Right. Well, I've only played it on console, so I don't know.
Well, they also don't say press up on the D-pad to move
Yeah.
forward, or the analog stick.
Yeah.
But should they? Is that bad design that they didn't do that?
I feel like most games should have a tutorial mode.
Yeah.
That is not necessarily. It should give you an option when you're first starting. Hey,
I think that's a good
do you
idea.
want it? Factorio has a tutorial mode.
Yeah.
And
Talk
then
about a complicated game.
And then it has a actual thing. But like, Smash Brothers has like you can go into like the gym or whatever and punch around a punching bag to try things out, and it has the list of moves on the side.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing's really useful. Some people maybe wouldn't want that. Don't go into it then.
Yeah.
Having it forced on you, I also think is a problem.
Yeah. Okay, so you're of the mind that at least in the example of Satisfactory, because we tested this. Robin and I went and we started a new game because I was curious. I couldn't remember. It'd been 100 hours since we played the beginning. Like, does it tell you anything about basic movement? And it doesn't say anything about hold down the block key to run. So it's just something that you have to instinctually know, or trial and error, or look up in the options. And do you think that's bad design?
I do. Something I've seen that I like a lot is that it'll do that. No hints. But if you're like not moving, it'll pop up like, "Hey, did you know?" kind of thing.
Yeah. Or if you don't run for 5 minutes, hey, you can go a little faster if you hold down the what block key. Yeah.
And like just little, and I've seen problems with that where it'll do it too much. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I don't want to run right now. Right. But,
hey, Link. Hey.
Hey, listen. Literally, my mouse pad is a pile of hay with the Hylian shield and a fairy saying, "Hey, Hay, listen."
Love it. Did you get this? Is that new? Because I've never noticed.
I've had it forever.
Okay, all right. It actually does look quite weathered now that I look at it.
It's quite weathered.
So
It's seen things.
So I guess this whole interaction with my friend on this game, we had many discussions about this and went back and forth, and I think the more that I thought about it, especially now that I'm talking to a third person about it, I think that my friend and you are right that they could have done a better job tutorializing the system. I think I have a hard time, since I've been playing games for so long, that I can't think like that person anymore. And to our friend's credit, he fully admits that he has not played a lot of games lately.
It's not the kind of games he likes.
He's kind of out of the loop on this.
He's a much more extreme version of me on the things I don't like-o-meter with games. It's like a lot of things I don't like, he likes them even less.
Yeah. So I think another example I brought up to him was like, well, did you ever play Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo? Like there were two buttons. One of them ran and one of them jumped. Like, did you just never try the other button or something?
That was in the instruction manual.
I guess it was.
It was definitely in the instruction booklet.
Manuals. I never even thought about it.
Which I think is a problem with modern games, frankly, is that we don't have those. There's too much exposition at the top of games. I don't want to do that. I don't care about that most of the time. But if I care, I'll go back to the instruction booklet and read it. That's how... I didn't know most of the things about Metroid the first time I played it.
Yeah.
And then I went back and read it. I was like, oh, she crashed her ship. Oh, so they're looking for this thing. Okay, there's a background. Before that, it was shooty, bang, bang.
I mean, lore in a manual is fine, but like basic instructions, should that really be in a manual anymore, or should it just kind of be part of the game?
That's what a manual is. It tells you how to do things.
Except people don't read anymore, Matt. That's you can't expect that people are going to read a manual.
But that's their fault.
Okay, that's victim blaming, though.
No.
Shouldn't it be better design, not victim blaming?
If I give you a book that tells you how to do a thing, and then you try to do the thing without the book, you don't get to complain.
What if it's hilarious and I make a YouTube channel out of it?
That's okay.
Okay. All right.
But you're still wrong.
Because I'm pretty sure that's the basis of at least a dozen video game playing bros on a couch.
Yeah. But I will say, from a user experience and accessibility standpoint, that is the kind of thing that should be in game to some extent. Like, you open it up and either it puts you into a tutorial world, which I find kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Especially if they actually like lock out the ability to like jump until it tells you can jump. I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, let me be the person. So if I'm like, I can run, I'm going to be running from the beginning. I never want to walk in video games. I want to get there.
Exactly. Well, sorry. And that's what was so baffling to me, is that how did he not get like I'm moving so slow. There's got to be a way to move faster.
He's way more patient than us.
Yeah, he's a better person. Friend, who I'm talking about, you're just a better person than us. I'm curious. I wanted, because this has all been about video games, which are a very specific set of software. Like, okay, let's take this into the regular app using world. Like, if I'm starting up a browser for the first time, I've never used a web browser. Should there be a bunch of like, hey, welcome to web browser. Here's how to use it. You click on this button to do the, you know.
Well, a lot of programs these days, when you open them for the first time, do have pop-up, like tooltips that show up.
Yeah.
They're like, you move your mouse over something, and it'll be like, stop, right?
Or the big X means stop.
Right. Or it'll literally have the pop-up that says the words that are there, like audio setup, apparently. But like, it'll say some things. But the tooltips tend to be things that'll pop up automatically.
Yeah.
And they'll be, and you see it a lot with new features in a program. It'll be like, ding,
yeah,
this thing over here. What I hate is when they block me out from doing things because of that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the balance in my mind, is somehow helping the new people without getting in the way of the experienced people.
Right. And so I would take that logic and be like, well, when I start up a web browser, maybe it's the first time I'm ever using a computer.
Yeah.
Should it not say like, oh, hey, that, thing on your desk that people call a mouse, you should grab that now, and you should, if you want to move the cursor, you should grab it and move it around. Like, it doesn't do that. Should it do that?
That should be in either the instruction manual for the computer or the operating system.
So when I start up Windows or Mac OS for the very first time, it should say, okay, welcome to Mac OS. You move the mouse cursor around with that mouse or a trackpad. If you want to type, push keys on your keyboard.
I would do it more subtly than that. No, seriously.
That wasn't subtle? I'm just kidding.
You'd have a box that has the OK button. Mouse is not on it.
Yeah.
If they don't get to the OK button within, say, 30 seconds, tooltip. Like, move the mouse.
So basically time delayed instruction.
Yeah.
Like little landmines just waiting to go off.
Just a reminder.
Yeah.
And as soon as you move the mouse, it goes away.
Now, is that okay? Take this a step further. As someone we're developers, when you're developing something, if you're developing something from scratch, are you thinking about that? Are you saying this is not done until it does that?
I am always thinking about usability first, but for me, a lot of that comes out in documentation.
Okay.
Because
as long as it's in a manual,
if you can figure it out.
If you can figure it out a way,
it's okay.
So then satisfactory could be, you could say it's not bad design, because if you just went into the options menu, you would have seen that run was.
But would you know to do that? It has to be accessible and obvious. Intuitiveness is the most important part. What is
obvious about? Yeah, I mean, like, how obvious does it need to be?
I actually don't think that controller mapping should be in options. The showing what the current controls are. Mm-hmm. I don't think that should be in options. Mm-hmm. I played many games where you open the pause menu and the first thing it shows is your controller with all the things mapped on it. Mm-hmm. I find that useful. Loading screens, put it up there, right? If it comes with an instruction manual, that's fine. Put it in. It's okay to have it in there. Hiding it buried in menus, people aren't going to necessarily find that. It has to be right out. It has to be staring you in the face. We have to be building for the lowest common denominator somewhere, right? There has to be one step of that. When a new game opens, a new computer program opens, whatever, someone should know what to do with it. And if they don't, then it needs to come with documentation that explains it all. And it'd be like, here. Mm-hmm. And for most of the stuff I write, I'm writing for other engineers, right?
Yeah. So it depends on the audience.
I have a base level expectation of what they have, or what they're doing, because they kind of have to in order to be in that position in the first place, right? Whereas playing a game or opening a word processor does not fall into that category. That's a generic computer user, off the street that's never done anything with a computer. Word processing is going to be one of the first things they're likely to do, especially if they're coming off the street. They probably want to make a resume or something. And honestly, word processors have gotten less intuitive over the year. Word.
Well, they've added so much extra stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't use word processor. Like, I don't like to use Word or anything like that when I just want to edit text.
I write Markdown.
Markdown, exactly. But we're programmers. Normal non-programmers don't want to do that. They want to use Word, I assume.
I like the ones that let you do both. Google Docs lets you do both these days.
I didn't realize it let you do Markdown.
Very recently.
Oh.
I think you actually have to turn it on, but it tells you, hey, you can use Markdown now.
Yeah.
And then it's there. And I'm like, Oh, it's because I typed. I remember what it was. I was opened something the other day, and I use Obsidian usually as my note taking app, which is all Markdown.
Yeah.
But I went into the Google Doc because I was trying to share something with a friend, and the first thing I did was I hit the pound sign and space and type in the title. It's like, hey, do you want to turn on Markdown? That's smart.
Yeah.
Good job, Google.
Agreed.
I crapped on you in the last episode, but good job on that.
But don't worry, future ones will go back the other way. Yeah. I feel like this is one of those moments where I definitely had to kind of like step back and, to use that maybe not in vogue phrase anymore, check my privilege.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my history...
So woke.
Yeah. I feel like my computer technology history using track record, like I have started to internalize so much stuff and assume so much stuff that, like I said, I literally can't think like our friend thinks.
Yeah.
Like I literally... I'm too far gone. I'm never going to use a piece of software where I don't try to monkey with it.
I can give you 2 examples of where if you were with the thing from the beginning, it follows easily. Mm-hmm. But if you jump into it now or if you take a big break, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'll go with the less contentious one. Terraria is a game, like a 2D Minecraft, kind of. Mm-hmm. I love that game. I played it years and years and years ago. Very simple controls, very obvious what to do. I opened it last year or earlier this year. I had no idea where anything was. All of it, there were so many more options that I was, and I'd played this game so many hours.
Yeah.
So many hours of my life I played Terraria. I had no clue. It starts you with everything. I'm like, please start simple.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with tutorializing. It's like, you got to build up.
Yeah.
Right? It's not babying you, but like, don't give me all the options from the beginning.
Yeah.
Let me step up. Another example of that's more on the development side is JavaScript. What I've seen is people who were in the JavaScript ecosystem and just are there. A lot of the things that I find incredibly frustrating about JavaScript, they're like, oh yeah, that's there, but it's better than it used to be because it used to be like this, and before that it was like this. I'm like, okay, but every other computer programming language in the universe knows how to do this already. Mm-hmm. Just do that. Mm-hmm. You idiots, right? But like, and trying to get a tutorial is either you don't know what a computer is, let me teach you what a for loop, right? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Or assumes that you have this background in JavaScript and like and now you need to learn types like it's some magical thing. Every program, like when I tried to pick up TypeScript, I'm like trying to learn TypeScript. Everything was trying to go from JavaScript to TypeScript. I'm like, no. Types are normal. That's a normal thing.
Yeah. JavaScript is the weird one.
They're in most languages, right? TypeScript is just... And Python and TypeScript are very similar in the way they handle typing, which is like their hints, basically. Mm-hmm. Great, right? But the tutorials for those things, all of them, were not directed at the right kind of audience, from my perspective, which was an experienced developer who's just trying to figure out how to use this stupid programming language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think I just want to reiterate that audience is important.
Very.
Who the software is supposed to be writing for, what you can reasonably assume when you're writing something like a video game, that the skill level is so wide, you do have to be a little more careful about your tutorialization. Although I think we've come a long way in how we tutorialize, and I think it's a lot better than it ever has been. I think the idea of like dropping you in the world, telling you some basic stuff, noticing if you haven't done stuff and giving you little hints that are time delayed. I never really thought about that as being like a really good way of handling that, as opposed to what I would normally do is I just like look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of a cop-out.
It's not the right answer unless the game developer has put a manual online.
Yeah.
And when you open the game for the first time, it's like, hey, if you have questions, go here.
Yeah.
Then it's okay. But if you're expecting the community to source your troubleshooting and your documentation, no.
Which, if your game gets popular enough, they will do.
Yes.
But you can't assume that that's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, you can't assume someone's going to make a wiki out of your game.
Well, okay. I'm switching gears slightly.
Sure.
I agree with all the things you just said.
That's what we do. We agree.
We do. I agree with you. You're right, we don't. I killed Mike. Sorry. We talked earlier about word processors, right?
You did, and I kind of
you also spoke
shuffled
along
off,
with it.
yes.
One of the things that started happening in in word processors was they started to wizardize everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, do you want to make a resume? Let me walk you through all the steps.
Hi, I'm Clippy.
Yes, exactly that thing. And if you've never made a document before, that's great.
Yeah.
Right? If you've been making documents since you were in high school because they made you take a word processing class to go along with your typing class that they made you take because it was the 90s and you're old, yeah, no word perfect. That's helpful. Then you know how to do that. I don't need someone to tell me how to open a new document or make things. But it defaults to wizard mode. Mm-hmm. And then like more, and that's true, like installing software, you often have a wizard mode. Mm-hmm. But most of those also have underneath them like advanced settings or
you could script it on a command line or something.
Exactly. And I think that's the best of both worlds. Start with you don't know anything about what you're doing right now. Mm-hmm. Let me guide, not even that, but let me guide you through this process.
Yeah.
And make it easy for someone to be like, yeah, I know this.
Right.
Let me out of this. Or I can do this myself. In software, I find that works really well.
Yeah.
User experience is not given enough thought in software, and I'm guilty of that too, and it's something I've been soapboxing for 25 years.
Well, because the more you use something, the more you make assumptions, because you can't wake up every day and assume you don't know anything. You have to realize you know some stuff to...
Well, good user experience is hard.
Yeah.
Right? There's...
because everybody's a little different.
Like streaming service, right? There's a whole bunch of those out there. And a lot of times they will change their interface. And people will complain about it everywhere. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, it's different. And I don't know what to do. It's not obvious. Because they'd gotten used to the old way.
Yeah.
Like, I think the right thing to do in that situation is basically to have hey, we have a new interface. Arrow, arrow, arrow. This is how it works. Mm-hmm. Do this to go here.
Yeah.
If you're going to drastically change things.
Yeah.
Or if it's just not a standard way of doing things. But, like, I would expect for any streaming service that they know how to use, if it's on a computer, know how to use the mouse and keyboard. Mm-hmm. And if it's on TV, know how to use the arrow keys to get around. But you know what? Every single one of those things, when you open them up, it says use the arrow keys to move around.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not an obvious thing. And, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if they... But again, going back to the wizard mode. Like, I want wizard mode and what I think of as engineer mode.
Yeah.
But advanced, right? Just let me do it myself.
Well, and I think the only issue with that is that that's time and effort.
And money.
And that's never going to be the first top priority.
Right. Because you start with the one that's... the most here's a box with a bunch of check boxes in it, right? Yeah. Here's all the settings you can possibly want.
Yeah, just a bunch of binary.
Yeah, the engineer UI.
Yeah.
And you can do, you know what all of them are, and you know how to fill it in.
Yeah.
And that's great for a prototype, for proving something out. But then, like...
You need to smooth the edges off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Round them off, and then keep improving that UX.
Yeah.
That's the part where I think this stuff falls apart.
Yeah. I agree. Friend of ours, I think you have won this discussion. I have been swayed. I've seen the error of my ways, and I hope we can still be friends.
He says no. No, okay. He's too nice to do that.
Okay. So yeah, I think we hit the high points. Tutorials have changed a lot. I think they've gotten better. I think having them part of the system rather than a separate system, like, here, we're going to drop you in this tutorial world that's not anything like the actual thing you're going to do, and make you do a bunch of trivial things that are separate from the thing. Instead,
and then once you get into the real one, you don't have any of that stuff because it made you start over. No.
Yeah. Make it part of it, and if you can't do that, at least have a manual or a help system where you can look it up.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, so I can insert my own little opinion on all this, like, be curious.
Yes.
There's a system. There are things. You know that things exist to be clicked on and checked on and off, and sliders that move left and right if you've used a computer for more than, like, 10 minutes. Play around with stuff.
Yeah. There was a TV show on Netflix called Emily's Wonder Lab. It was like a science type, Bill Nye typey thing, but aimed at, like, young children.
Yeah.
And her catchphrase was, be curious and keep exploring, or something like that. And I love that mindset.
Yeah.
That's something I have kind of like running in the back of my head all the time.
And as a corollary to that, the Ted Lassoism, be curious, not judgmental. I try to remember that second part.
Yes, it's hard.
It's
but
hard.
It's a good rule of thumb. Be curious.
Not judgmental, and keep exploring. Yep. Okay. Thank you for listening to this episode of Hacking the Grepson. If you want to listen to more of our episodes, you can go to hackingthegrepson.com. We try to put out a new episode, brand spanking new episode, every other week on Wednesday. And until the next time we talk at you, we now return you to your regularly scheduled lives already in progress.